Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, someone is strangling co-eds at an Italian university, and all the police have to go on is a red scarf. Well, it was nice knowing you, students. Good luck out there. Tonight's movie, Torso.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. I'm at Baby Circus. Anyways. Episode number 29. Episode number 29. We are so close. After tonight's episode, there's only 2 more left. And tonight, coming off of last night's, I don't know. I think maybe I might have been a little bit too hard. The movie was Killing Spree. I got bored with it. Perhaps I just wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the right mentality. After all, I've been coming off a couple very stylish type of horror movies, and then going to that. Perhaps, I don't know. Plus, I am 29 episodes in, so that was 28th episode. And you know, maybe the bar is just starting to get raised a bit there. I don't know. I appreciate the movie. It's definitely one of those movies that you can get around, get a bunch of friends together and have some fun with, especially with some adult beverages. But perhaps when I watched it, I don't know. But anyways, Killing Spree. Last night's episode. So tonight, I thought, you know what? I'm going to finish off my Giallo kick with a movie that actually was kind of a toss-up between a couple movies. This movie and another movie called Spazzo. Anyways, I know. Spazzo versus Torso. And Torso won. So yes, tonight's movie is the Italian Giallo Torso. So what is Torso about? Well, it is about a bunch of university students in Italy who are starting to get killed by a masked maniac who is strangling them with a black and red scarf. And so after a few deaths, one of the students thinks they might have seen that scarf, and they can't quite remember who was wearing it. And so, of course, she was afraid of what might happen, especially since there's this guy that seems to be stalking her, named Stefano. Anyways, so she decides to go to her uncle's villa in a rural part of Italy, and a couple of her friends are going to come along with her. And of course, because, well, you know, she saw the killer, and the killer knows that she saw him, he decides, well, you know what, I think I'm going to have to come along too and continue my murderous rampage. So, let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore is at 2.5 out of 5. Once again, a lot of off-the-screen stuff happening. Plus, you know, the strangulation is not as bloody or gory as other things. And, like the strangulation gets violent enough, yeah, but then, you know, he cuts up the victims, and, well, a couple of them are really bad. Like, the effects are really bad. Like, first of all, whatever dummy they're using is, like, super pale. I mean, like, at least get some blush on that thing so that it looks sort of like human flesh. But anyways, but there is some dismemberment going on toward the end. I mean, it was a movie called Torso. You would think that, of course, that's not the Italian name for the movie, but still, 2.5 out of 5. Shock value, 1 out of 5. There is, like, some light jumps here and there, but for the most part, it's all about the style. And honestly, there is a good amount of tension built into this movie. However, not a lot of shocks to it. So 1 out of 5. Plot, 3 out of 5. Look, I was gonna give this like a 2, but toward the end, it did some really good tension building situations. And there is a scene that I thought was actually quite spectacular. I don't want to say it because it's one of those that when you watch it, you're like, oh shit, oh man, oh dang, oh crap. Anyways, but I thought it was rather brilliant and done very well. But that whole last part, even though I'm disappointed that a lot of kills happened off screen, there was quite a bit of tense moments in that last 10, 15, 20 minutes that really, really elevated the movie. And the reveal of the killer also makes a lot more sense. And when you look back at the movie, you're like, wow, you know what? There's the connections are there. I'm sure one might say that it's kind of loose in some of the aspects, but it's definitely a lot better than some of the other ones where it's like a character that was on screen for 2 seconds. This one a bit more established, so I appreciate that. So 3 out of 5. Acting, I am also giving a 3 out of 5. Once again, your standard Italian giallo acting. However, the final girl, the blonde, I can't remember her name, but she did a pretty good job, especially during those tense moments where she's kind of waiting out the killer. Those were pretty good. But then there's just some ancillary characters which the acting was just really kind of hammy and so whatever. But like I said, average giallo acting, which is better than average regular acting, but still had its problems. 3 out of 5. Nudity is a 4 out of 5. It's not as graphic and as intense or as all over the place as some of the other movies that I've watched. But then again, those movies would have been hitting 10 out of 5 or something like that. So yeah, those were just it was all over the place. But this one was quite a bit, but not at those levels. So a 4 out of 5. Enjoyment factor, 3.5 out of 5. Really did enjoy the fact that they had the really good tense moments. Once again, it's a giallo. It has a great style to it. Just love the look and feel and the sounds of giallo movies. But yeah, that tension that's happening in the last 15, 20 minutes is really great. It's what makes this movie stand above some of the others. Plus the fact that you have a killer whose motives are defined and make sense. And it's not just a character that we're introduced for two seconds, but someone who's actually within the film. It does the red herring thing. And I think it does a pretty good job of red herring a bunch of people and also eliminating those red herrings rather well. So kudos about that. So yeah, very enjoyable film. 3.5 out of 5. My overall impression is a 3 out of 5. It definitely has some areas where it could have tidied itself up. And of course, personally, I would have liked to have a bit more gore and a bit more violence. Dispatch some of those people on screen. But I mean, I can get thematically and story-wise why they did what they did, because one of the characters hurt their leg and she needed to take painkillers, and of course her friends boozed her up, so she's out. So I get that. Part of the reveal is, oh my god, what happened? So anyways, 3 out of 5 overall impression, and that averages out to a very solid, very respectable 2.9 out of 5. So there you have it. Torso, what did you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Leave a comment, rate the video, subscribe, hit the notifications, and I thank you once again for joining me on another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And oh man, after this, just 2 more episodes, and it's going to be, I got something special for the last episode. I've got a little opening thing, a little skit, whatever you want to call it, that I've recorded, and now I've got to basically put it all together, and hopefully it turns out well, and you'll like it, so stay, watch out for that. Anyways, but like I said, until next time, thank you again for watching another episode of the 30 Nights of Halloween Horror, and I will see you next time, and remember, Internet, be scary, and, yeah, if you're going to remember, or I'm sorry, if you're going to see someone wearing the article of clothing that the police are basically saying, hey, the killer is wearing this, you probably should talk to the police, and then maybe have them, I don't know, protect you. I mean, it is a movie, and a lot of times police protection in movies fail and end up in a bloodbath. I mean, Terminator, but still. In real life, usually that shit works. So, yeah, tell the police, hey, I think I saw that guy wearing that. I don't remember exactly who it is, but as I'm trying to remember, keep me from being killed. All right? Just a little something. All right. Ah.